Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Red Raptor Writes. Like it or not, Jurassic World 3, titled Dominion, is scheduled to come out next summer with production well underway. Who knows, maybe it'll be pushed back due to the literal zombie apocalypse outside. If you're a longtime viewer, then you probably already know my thoughts on this new batch of Jurassic movies.
They're alive, like me.
I really dislike them for a long list of reasons, but the sad thing is, there is a genius premise right in the heart of the first Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom, you get nothing.
So you get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
We've been living in a world super saturated by dinosaur media for decades at this point. Yes, there were many artistic works before Jurassic Park, but after 1993, it's like the entertainment industry rushed to capitalize on this newfound fame, and Jurassic World certainly had something important to say about it. It's really a tale about the media and public's false perception of these wonderful animals and why it needs to change. But before I get started, I have one important announcement to make. My friends and I decided to join forces in a YouTube alliance known as Plot Twist Entertainment. The team consists of me, of course, Video Gambit, who also covers his views on movies, Sky, who does plenty of comedy mixed in with film, and Cartoon Connoisseur, who analyzes your favorite childhood shows. Video Gambit just did one on last year's Dora movie, and no joke, it was nothing short of fantastic. You can find each of our awesome videos on the Plot Twist Entertainment YouTube channel. Check it out. So Paleo Nerds, without further interruption, it's time to see how Jurassic World was almost pure genius. Let's dig this up. Like with most of my videos, I'll be breaking this up into three major sections. The first being how the public views these awesome archosaurs, followed by how they really were, and then the film's take on the subject. Okay? Good. So, fake news everywhere. When what we now call dinosaurs were discovered in the early 1800s, early paleontologists were quick to label them as dumb, giant swamp monsters. Heck, the word dinosaur even means fearfully great or terrible lizard in Greek. When you look at some of the original statues made in London's Crystal Palace Park in the 1850s, you see nothing more than big, funny-looking lizards. Over the next 100 years, new finds shed light on many extinct species of dinosaur. They gradually morphed from the Crystal Palace models into their own distinct look. But can you imagine this was supposed to be Iguanodon? By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, you began to recognize some of the popular creatures like Apatosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, and Triceratops. With finds of Deinonychus in the 60s, great progress was made with dragging tails, swamp stupidity, and cold-bloodedness being replaced with horizontal stances, intelligence, warm blood, and all kinds of biomes. But one misrepresentation still lingers to this day, nearly 200 years after Megalosaurus was found: the idea of dinosaurs as vicious killers. Now, Jurassic Park and The Lost World did a great job of portraying them as just animals, but still the misconception lives on in the public image. Movies like The Land Before Time, Dinosaur, and King Kong present some of these creatures as bloodthirsty monsters who kill anything and everything in their path. Sadly, many casual moviegoers take what they see on screen as scientific fact. But if the Mythbusters have taught us anything, it's that you should never see Hollywood as reality. And these people don't care to research dinosaurs in the slightest, so all they're left with is this. Even when some people want to enlighten themselves on these awesome anomalies, they're met with loads of misinformation from these terrible documentaries. Guys, documentaries, which are made primarily for education, still pump people's heads with the same massive misconceptions. Even when you're supposed to be learning, many still present dinosaurs as killing machines. I've seen some that are good in this regard, but shows like Jurassic Fight Club, Planet Dinosaur, and Monsters Resurrected get it all wrong. What you see on these programs is constant killing, violence, and gore. When audiences see,
"That thing is a killing machine!"
Spinosaurus.
what are they supposed to think? Now, I loved Jurassic Fight Club as a kid. I even held the high score on the website's fighting game Turf Wars. But every episode is about a fight between two prehistoric creatures, usually dinosaurs. There is still some good science in the show, but when the entire thing revolves around killing, you'd think all dinosaurs belong to Michael Vick. So it's unfortunate, but most people still think of dinosaurs as these murderous monsters. That's the world we live in, I guess. In reality, these outdated perceptions of the so-called terrible lizards couldn't be further from the truth. Like I said before, dinosaurs are just animals, no different than the ones you'd see today in a zoo. When you go to the zoo, do the bears immediately try to escape and attack visitors because they're savages? No, of course not. But if there is a zoo like that, I'm in. That'd be awesome. The first two Jurassic Parks, Walking with Dinosaurs and Operation Genesis, got them so right. They weren't out for blood, they weren't killing machines, nah, they were just chillin', living their lives. Like modern cranes, Spinosaurus waded in water to fish. Like elephants, Edmontosaurus formed herds. Like Komodo dragons, it's speculated that many carnivores, like Deinonychus, ganged together to bring down much larger prey. Even the dreaded Tyrannosaurs may have lived in familial groups and cared for their young. Also, despite what countless dinosaur films showed you, large and fully grown dinosaurs didn't 1v1 each other to fill the need for action spectacle in their lives. No, predators only go for easy prey unless they're really desperate, and they wouldn't attack each other on sight. The goal is to nab easy meals like babies or the sick. Any injury from a tussle can prevent a carnivore from hunting, which means they go hungry and get a game over. So fighting, not a good idea. Carnivores like Allosaurus were not rock'em sock'em robots, but animals. Really cool animals, but still animals. And again, dinosaurs weren't lizards at all. Many were homeothermic, or at least mesothermic, meaning they produced their own warmth and regulated their own body temperature to a certain extent, unlike most reptiles today. This made them far more active. Jurassic World doesn't cover this, but I might as well inform you that while many did have scaly skin, many also had feathery coverings, resembling modern birds, which are considered dinosaurs, far more than crocodilians. Do these look anything like lizards to you? Sorry, feathers are a bit off topic, especially for a Jurassic World video.
Like that's ever gonna happen. What a load.
Anyways, no, they weren't killing machines, just as bears and wolves aren't killing machines, despite what Disney tells you. Now, here's where Jurassic World comes into play. An ongoing conflict in the World movies is between the real dinosaurs and hybrids. Yes, the more realistic ones still have frog DNA, but this can be overlooked since it was only used to fill in some gaps. Yes, this caused mutations, but this was as accurate as this universe was able to get them, okay? Okay. The first Jurassic World made it clear that the park wanted to boost ticket sales because the public was getting used to their dinosaurs. To bring in larger crowds, the scientists at Jurassic World gave the public more of what they expected from dinosaurs. Bigger, louder, more teeth, as Claire put it. They wanted something captivating, thrilling, terrifying, something that dinosaurs were not. This was the inspiration to create the Indominus Rex, a scary, massive killing machine with abilities that come and go for the purpose of furthering the plot. Theoretically, this would attract mainstream audiences because this is what they were used to seeing from countless creature features and fake news documentaries.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead. Can you stay?
The Indominus Rex is the poster child for all these false portrayals of dinosaurs, and being the main antagonist of the movie, it's easy to tell that Jurassic World is against this dinosaurs as monsters portrayal. All the IREX did for the entire 2-hour runtime was slaughter. It's a soulless, evil beast of an animal that killed everything in its path, just like this franchise. And what was it killing for sport? Well, people, yes, but also actual dinosaurs. Dinosaurs that were still hybrids, but still the normal animals that they actually were in real life. Jurassic World spent a lot of time showing the real dinosaurs in all their Mesozoic glory, and did a great job at it. Well, a great job in the fact that these creatures were not fundamentally different from any others that we see today. Not so great in terms of accuracy. A lack of feathers, wrong sizes, pronated wrists, oh my gosh, the wrists, mammalian sounding roars, speeds, and so on. These were all wrong. Anyways, for all the trash that I give this movie, it's heartbreaking seeing the herbivores fall to the crazed Indominus. The Apatosaurus scene was easily the best in the 2-hour runtime, as Owen comforted her as she died from her injuries. And Claire finally learned that these really were living, breathing creatures instead of numbers on a spreadsheet. It also helps that the actors can actually interact with an animatronic instead of relying on CGI, but I'm getting off topic again. There was a clear dichotomy between actual dinosaurs, well, archosaurs, and monsters. They are definitely not the same thing and shouldn't be viewed as such by general audiences. And when there is confusion in the difference between the two, people die, it's bad. And in the end, the real animals come together to defeat this monstrosity, and we all live happily ever after, right? Well, not quite. If you've read the title, then you already know that what is an amazing concept completely falls apart. Why is that? How did it crash and burn? Well guys, there's a very specific moment, an easily definable scene in Jurassic World where it all went horribly wrong. And that scene is the Pterosaur Attack. Let me re-jog your memory for a minute. So, every attempt to catch the Indominus Rex alive has failed, but it's still moving southwards towards the park, or world at this point. In a last-ditch effort to save lives, Masrani flies his helicopter with a machine gunner with the aim of an Indiana Jones Nazi. After failing to get any shot in, the IREX smashes into the Pterosaur aviary for cover, letting all the Pteranodons and Dimorphodons loose. Now with no boundaries to restrain them, what is the first thing they do? Swarm the helicopter and murder everyone on board, of course, just like every animal would, right? Trust me, the stupidity doesn't end there. After murdering a loud moving object they've never seen before, like all animals do, all of them decide to fly miles away from their homes to terrorize Jurassic World together, trashing the place and killing countless tourists. It's at this point in the film where it all goes to crap. Here's why. The careful dichotomy between monster and animal it's been all this time building gets completely obliterated, sharing the same fate as Masrani himself. Now who were supposed to be actual animals became vicious, bloodthirsty savages, no different than the Indominus itself. Owen Grady specifically pointed out that the antagonist hunted for sport, leaving a field of dead sauropods. But then the Pteranodons and Dimorphodons started doing the exact same thing, only with humans. Now the once clear distinction is totally lost. Even Jurassic Park 3 treated its archosaurs better. The very last scene in Johnston's movie showed the Pteranodons migrating peacefully across the ocean, not feeling the need to murder Alan Grant and everyone else on board the helicopter. But in Jurassic World, every Pteranodon and their mothers said, "Get to the chopper!" The core problem with Jurassic World is that it thought it needed to be a mindless popcorn flick to sell tickets. Colin Trevorrow and Universal underestimated the intelligence of their audiences, believing they wouldn't be smart enough to pick up on more subtle themes and messages, so they'd have to shove non-stop Sharknado action in our faces to keep us entertained. But the entire reason for a Jurassic Park reboot in the first place is because the original raked in a ton of cash, having the biggest opening weekend ever in 1993 and beating E.T. as the highest grossing film worldwide. Yet, the original Jurassic Park was full of heavy themes and messages, and refused to hold back exploring them. It balanced its themes with the action flawlessly because they weren't mutually exclusive. The ideological discussions were fascinating and dramatic, while the action set pieces contributed to the themes of control, change, and parenthood. Remember, the Tyrannosaurus didn't show up until the hour mark halfway through the masterpiece, yet audiences still ate it up. Jurassic Park showed that you can have intense action without compromising your theme. Jurassic World wanted to have messages, but instead the action wound up contradicting them. The reboot wanted to have crazy, over-the-top moments showing dinosaurs and pterosaurs chasing people, but having bloodthirsty animals with no reasoning given for their behavior made them look as monstrous as the Ibex. The pterosaur scene isn't even as bad as it gets. The whole finale between the Tyrannosaurus and Indominus, while visually appealing, failed as well, looking more like a Godzilla scene with two monsters smashing buildings. Maybe it's more in the execution though. Having the real animals team up to defeat the killer fake dino sounds like a good idea, but it came across as the violent Tyrannosaurus meeting the violent Indominus, and both spontaneously wanting to murder each other. And remember, predators never want to instantly rip each other's faces off like they do here, because that risks an injury. Maybe if we saw more of a territorial battle with the T-Rex and Ibex trying to scare each other off by roaring and threat displays, and then attacking to defend their territory. That would have worked and seemed more realistic, but nah, planet dinosaur murdering instead. Alright, that's enough ranting. You get the point. My view of the Jurassic series has always been black and white. The first one's a masterpiece, the second one has its problems, but is still overall good, and the rest are completely disposable. I've always criticized Jurassic World for its main characters that all rely on tropes, over-reliance on CGI, cheesy dialogue, and Sharknado tone. But the thing is, Jurassic World tried. It tried to be about something. JW tried to mock this bestial portrayal of dinosaurs. It tried to tell us we were wrong to think of them as monsters. It tried to show people that they were really just animals. It's a great theme that the movie starts out with, and it's at its best when it's in the forefront, but that theme ultimately got lost in an effort to give a loud, exciting blockbuster. The filmmakers let thrill and spectacle get in the way of this great message when the original showed that action and intelligence aren't mutually exclusive. That's why Jurassic Park was genius, while Jurassic World was only almost genius. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, to please leave a like, subscribe, and check out Plot Twist Entertainment. See you next time.